Now, what I really wanted to get to is how is evangelism in Mexico received, and is there a particular method or a particular way of approaching that you found to be more successful than others?
Sure. The first time I went into Mexico, the only method I'd really used in the United States was a good person test, and you ever told a lie, you were stolen, that kind of thing. And then using a courtroom example, I burned DVD, I'm guilty, I'm going to prison, but somebody stands up and pays my monetary fine so I don't have to pay the prison time. So going to Mexico, there's no way. I mean, just to translate all of that would be a huge project, and then also I've got to know what they're saying, or it just really doesn't work. So what we've done is we've translated Share Jesus Without Fear by Bill Fay into Spanish and modified it somewhat. And this is very effective. And just getting a trick, you can get these at Living Waters, and we'll go up to people, and you can just randomly do this. And since you're an American who's speaking Spanish, you have a real good in with them. It's really amazing. And so we walk up and say, truco, I think you call it trick. Yo tengo truco. And they're like, wow, he's speaking Spanish. ¿Cuál es más grande? Which is larger? Verde o rojo?
Verde.
And verde, yeah, verde. Now, ¿estás seguro? Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you sure? ¿Cuál es más grande ahora? Which is larger now. And so in America, a lot of people, someone yesterday, just last night, said, oh, I remember that from the SAT. But in Mexico, they don't take the SAT. Most people don't. And they're like, wow, that's magic. And they're just fascinated. So whatever you've got to share at this point, they're ready to listen. Where do you go from here? Well, I'm working on memorizing this, but it's okay to have a cheat sheet, and it's easy to pronounce Spanish. So then we say, Nuestros ojos pueden engañarnos, and that means our eyes can deceive us. No siempre podemos confiar en lo que vemos. We cannot always trust what we see. Puedo preguntarte algunas preguntas espirituales? May I ask you some spiritual questions? And I'll say 5 preguntas, 5 questions. That way they know that this thing will take a long time. And so this is on our website too, so I won't go through the whole thing.
Okay.
But this really connects. And occasionally someone will say, I really don't have time, but more often than not, they do. And so people are out in the streets in Mexico. They're very social. And like I say, they're especially receptive to Americans who are trying to speak their language. Even if you don't do a good job at it, very receptive. So we found this method that you can get off our website. You may have a copy in front of you right now to be very well received and very effective. And then for the gospel, for the law and the gospel, we're going to Scripture, and they're seeing it in their own language. Around border towns, a lot of the younger kids can read. Go interior Mexico, there's adults, when you're talking to adults, a lot of times they don't know how to read. So you got to be careful too. Pretty much what I'll do is I'll start reading it, and if they can read, then they'll begin reading it, and then I just let them